Hey everyone, it's Chris and Charlie here with Daily Motor, and today, thanks to my buddy Sean and Kauth Mayeur here in Peoria, Illinois, we're driving a 2016 Porsche Cayman GT4, the first of the GT Cayman cars. Of course, now we're on to the 718 GT4, but this is where it started. This is powered by a 3.8 liter flat six. Power is sent to the rear wheels via a 6-speed manual transmission. We've got a big spoiler, it's painted in guards red, and it just looks absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, this is the fastest version of the 2016 GT4 because it is red.
That's right, yeah, you gotta have guards red if you want to get that maximum performance.
And it's so particularly red that it continues on the interior.
It does.
Red stitching, red plastics, red vent slat covers, and even a red key.
That's right. Oh,
so
yeah.
you
Where's
can go
the key?
fast from before you even start the vehicle.
Yes.
You're faster than the other Caymans.
So we've got key and exterior color, and as Charlie mentioned, lots of different interior bits. But most importantly, we have the carbon seats. These were an optional extra on the GT4, and luckily it's an option that Sean has here on his GT4.
You're telling me Porsche will charge you for a lot of different options on their cars?
Yeah, well, they'll even charge you to paint your vent slats,
wow,
as it turns out.
Smart marketing.
That's right. Yeah, it's almost like people want to be different than other people.
Will they charge you to remove the door handles?
No, that's standard.
Oh, okay, good.
No.
That's good on that.
Standard.
Will they charge you to put door handles back in it?
No, no.
Okay.
You can't do that on a GT car.
Porsche, you're missing an opportunity there.
Yeah, they should charge you extra for door handles. We've also got some red deviated stitching here on the interior, and it really just brings all of this redness together for just a really nice look. The 981 is a really nice sweet spot for the Cayman, and I'm really excited, well, we're really excited to take this thing out on the road and show you guys what it's like to drive.
Well, you know, it's interesting, my Cayman experience has actually moved in reverse, because at first I've only ever driven 718s.
Oh, right.
And then I'll be driving a 781, and then maybe I'll have to drive your 997.
Okay, so you got two numbers wrong there.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
981.
Sorry. 981.
987.
987.
You got it.
You're right. I'm still stuck on 911s.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yes, third to second to first gen.
That's right. So just kind of going down the chain, and shoot, maybe you'll like the 987 the best.
Maybe I will. Maybe I'll just have to get one myself.
Maybe you will.
And yours is guards red as well, so it's fast.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's proper Porsche color.
It is.
Really.
For tires, what do we got? Michelin.
Super Sports.
Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2.
Oh, they are. Okay.
Very sticky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's very sticky rubber, and we heard that pulling into this lot.
We did. Yeah. Lots of.
Yeah.
OMGT4 proper license plate. And we've also got black exhaust tips here for our sport exhaust system.
Quite black.
Cool.
Yeah, let's drive
start
this
it up
thing
and go for a drive. Sweet.
Yeah. I will stand back here so that the zooms will pick up the exhaust.
Oh, very good. Okay. Climb into our bucket seat here. The key, though it looks like it wouldn't actually be a key, it goes into this little slot right here, and you do still use it as a key. We've got a sport exhaust setting as well as a sport drive mode, which enables rev matching and adjustable suspension here.
Porsche motors are so good at having an excellent sound without being obnoxious. It's just a very good...
Yeah. It's a mature sound.
Yeah. BMWs are kind of like that as well.
That's true.
As much as I love a nice, loud, like LS or something like that, there's something a little classier to a 6.
That's right. Okay, parking brakes over here on the left-hand side. Makes quite a racket when you turn it off.
Yeah, not a lot of sound deadening separating us from the mechanicals in this vehicle. Less weight. Although you still get cup holders. Very German cup holders. I mentioned to Chris on the way out here, the design of this generation, really not too different from the 718s. I'm surprised that, I mean, I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but this whole center area, the cup holders and stuff, I feel like some people would get into a 718 and be like, wait, so you're giving me a worse motor in a lot of ways and that's it? Like, why would I get a 718? So unfortunately they brought back the 6-cylinder. Oh, maybe stuck behind it.
Oh, are we going straight?
Jeep.
We'll give them a second. This is an all-way stop.
Yeah, it's okay. It's a short section of road before we get on another straight road. A lot of straight roads down here in Illinois.
Really nice feeling shifter and clutch, of course.
Nope. Is it adaptive suspension?
I don't know.
Because there is a suspension button.
Yeah, it just stiffens it, I'm pretty sure. No buttons or anything here on the steering wheel, just a very simple sport steering wheel is what they call it.
I like that.
And, well, they take your buttons away, so.
Yeah, well, the buttons are heavy.
Buttons are heavy, so are door handles.
Yeah. TPMS, though, that's nice.
Yes, that is nice to have. Really attractive gauge display, just the traditional gray tachometer and black side gauges, or a digital display here on the right. And this still feels like a new Porsche.
I bet.
I mean, it's, from a driving perspective, it still feels like a new Porsche, but even going as far as like just the interior setup in here, if you get into a new Cayman, it's very similar, as you were just saying.
And the cool thing about Sean, the owner, is that he drives this thing. We got 24,000 miles.
He does. He just took it to Road America and back this past weekend. That's why the windshield's covered in bugs. Going left.
Yes.
All right, let's hear this 3.8.
Is they all kind of sound and feel similar. They've just gotten faster with time.
That's right.
You take out the 4-cylinder models and you could be in a 986 or you could be in a 718 4-liter, and they all have that similar sound and similar feel.
That like at 6,000 RPM is just nothing like it. So good.
If you lived, say, in the Tennessee mountains, or really any mountain range, or hilly, curvy area, this is about the perfect car you could have as a play toy.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it really settles down here.
Sure, yeah, it's quieter than I expected.
Like, yeah, you've got some road noise, of course, but
comparable to just a sports car.
Right, and even these carbon seats are like fine.
I could see them being just not a whole ton of squish on a long trip, but yeah, I'm fine with how they contour to your body nicely for us smaller individuals.
Yeah, you know, like any carbon seat, they're getting in and out is kind of the worst part of them, but once you're in, you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And so this leather steering wheel is actually optional on this car. Standard was an Alcantara steering wheel, but the problem with Alcantara is over time it just wears and becomes like really gross, and it like ends up just looking like a dirty sock at the end. So I think leather is probably the way to go for long-term ownership. So
yeah.
Even revving this thing to like 4,500 or 5,000 RPM, like you still get that satisfaction that you're looking for.
Well, and what's cool is you're only doing 65, 70 miles per hour, so when you do that in 4th gear, which means you've got to have fun through a few different gears there.
That's right.
It's not one of those crazy fast cars, 911 turbo style, where immediately you're on the gas and you're speeding.
This car is a perfect level of fast. You've got 385 horsepower, and this car
just
weighs
under 3,000 pounds, which is important.
Yep, so this is a very dialed in power to weight ratio, and it feels really, really perfect. Yeah, this would be, you know how we always say that, you know, one day when Daily Motor makes us rich and famous, and we have to, you know, we have to get a car. I think this would be mine.
Not a Nissan Figaro?
No. Cayman GT4.
He's owned this since 2018, and
somewhere around there, yeah.
I imagine that it's still very, very satisfying for him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just such a driver's car. I have the dentist Cayman, that's what it is. This is the track driver Cayman. Trying to feel out this road surface a little bit.
Yeah.
We're at about double the speed we did in the Nissan Figaro yesterday. Yeah, I mean,
How's the steering feel?
What more can you ask for? It's perfect. You're one with the steering in this car. So I just drove a 718 Spider a couple weeks ago, and the steering was not as communicative as it is in this 981. As far as I know exactly where this car is going when I point the steering wheel, it felt a little bit more simulated in the 718.
Understandable.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Still good, don't get me wrong, still great steering, but this is less simulated. This still feels more, you feel more connected to this 981 than you do the 718.
Sure.
But I would also argue that this, I feel less connected to this than I do my 987. So.
And if you go back far enough, you get back to horse and rider, and then you feel more connected to the horse.
Yeah, you just sit on the horse.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
Is there any element, and I'm going to get behind the wheel here in a minute and kind of test this too, but is there any element that you feel like this car is being underutilized, even on these more twisty, fun roads on the public street? Because we get that a lot now. I mean, cars in 2022, you just can't even get to 7/10, 8/10 safely.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
How about this?
How about Miss
great.
Deer right here?
Yeah, deers don't like cars. But even compared to your Cayman, I mean, do you feel like you'd be able to exploit your Cayman a little bit more on the roads? Or
oh yeah. I could get closer to the limits of my Cayman for sure. I mean, and you'll feel when you drive this, it's just laughing at me going 45 on this road. So
well, I'm sure the Sport Cup 2s don't really help with that.
Yeah, that's true. Lots of grip. Plus, I just want to hear that 3.8 liter.
Yes.
Oh. In the way of the 3.8 liter, this car really speaks for itself.
Yes.
It's going to be the beauty of the Winding Road video. You'll just be able to soak it all in.
My first time in Cayman. 781.
981.
981.
7 is just the new ones. Yeah, 9. They've always been 9s until the new one.
Right.
Oh, that's the required noise you make when you get out, right?
Yep. Fortunately, all of us enthusiasts are nearly the same size.
Okay.
So we've got 24,000 miles. Ooh, nice. Ooh, heavy clutch. Heavy shifter. That's nice. Alright, away we go. Interesting that it's a pull to release. A lot of new cars are pulled
The other way around, yeah.
Great driving position. Wheel is very much up. I like the leather wheel, you're right.
Yeah, it's really nice. It feels really nice in the hands.
Yes.
Porsche does a good job with just quality of leather.
Yeah.
And we noticed that in the Taycan yesterday as well.
Right. Brake feels great. A little bit of squish right at the very top so you can kind of feel in, and then they bite hard.
That was the
Traction, or the
suspension.
Yeah.
Yep, you can feel it. You can feel it got a little tighter.
Probably just saves that for track driving. Yeah, it weights up nicely. It's not heavy.
No.
But you feel, I mean, you can almost feel the rotation of the tires in the wheel. It's a nice small steering wheel too. Yeah, great grab, great white. And it's a good noise level too from the exhaust. I mean, it's not deafening, but just enough that you can hear it.
Yeah.
Hear it yell.
And it does yell.
It's like, oh, you need to turn more? Okay.
Yeah.
The other cool thing about being a little bit... Oh, I gotta get this one. The other cool thing about it being a little bit less power than you might expect from like a new sports car here in 2022 is it kind of requires you to carry speed. It's similar to like if you're tracking a Miata, for example, you need to know that, I mean, it's arguably makes you a better driver because you have to carry as much speed through corners as possible. You can't just putz through the corner and then match the gas and be right back up to full speed. This has a little bit of that where you're like, okay, I know I'm going to have power out of the corner, but it's not so much crazy power. I know I need to carry some of the speed through,
right.
And it encourages that. That's cool.
Yeah. So you're a fan?
Yes. That clutch pedal would get heavy in stop and go traffic. That's
Yes,
not what
it
this
would.
car is for. Yeah, and then it just settles right down. And the ride is quite good.
It is.
For what this car is, you'd look at it and be like, oh man, I'm gonna rattle my teeth out.
But no.
No.
Certainly no Lotus, that's for sure.
Beautiful.
Love a good Porsche.
Yeah. And the feeling right off center. I mean, just the littlest steering input gets you right where you need to go. Well, cool. Thank you, Chris, Sean, for my first GT4 experience.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, first this generation GT4.
First 981 GT4, of course.
I did with the GT4 what you did with the 911, and popped my cherry on the most intense model.
That's right.
I've driven a 718 GT4 RS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's the
I
only
forgot
one
you
I've
did
driven.
that. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, there you go.
I only drive the most serious Caymans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Thanks again to Sean and Kauth Mayeur here in Peoria, Illinois, for hooking us up with not only this GT4, but a number of really cool cars over the past couple of days. So,
Driving some great stuff.
cool. One last walk
Pull those
around.
handles.
Pull the little fabric to
Yeah.
eject ourselves here.
Make sure you make the noise when you get out. There you go.
There we go. Gotta do that.
Cool.
Okay. 981 GT4. Good car.
Good car.
Great car.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Anything? Any last words?
No. Good stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you all so much for watching. We are Chris and Charlie with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.